Welcome to our first bonus episode of the 98% Life After Prison, a show dedicated to the men and women who are released from prison every year back into our communities. While we're working on our upcoming season, I'll be posting a series of short interviews produced by my co-host, April Barber Scales, entitled On a Mission with a Purpose. Take a listen to April's interview with her friend and fellow advocate, Cierra Cobb.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the 98% Life After Prison. I'm April Barber, and this is a bonus episode called On a Mission with a Purpose. I will be speaking with someone who may have or may not have been directly impacted, but are compelled to make a difference. Good afternoon. Please state your name.
Hello, my name is Cierra Cobb.
Good afternoon, Cierra. And how did you get started doing the work that you do, and what is your connection to it?
So I got started in advocacy and just the criminal justice realm of life because I had reconnected with my husband, Jeffrey Cobb, who's currently incarcerated and wrongfully charged of a crime he didn't commit. And so I started out initially advocating for him, trying to get him some relief. And then it it expanded to advocating for many others because I realized that he wasn't the only one that was suffering or going through the situation. So that's how I became a fierce advocate and advocating for fair justice of those incarcerated. And so my connection is my husband.
Is it expensive to talk to your husband?
Oh boy, it's extremely expensive. We've been together now, or reconnected now, for about 5 years. And I think I did a total of last year of how much I just spent on the phone itself, not including the tablet. And that was around $7,000-$8,000. And then when you get to adding in tablet time for him and me, that can add another $3,000. So it gets very expensive trying to stay just in communication with your loved one incarcerated.
It's very expensive. Well, what makes you so passionate about the work that you do?
What makes me passionate is seeing how so many people are unjustly incarcerated for long amounts of time due to the government and the cities and the states not providing resources to the community. This is a product of starving your community of viable resources like fair housing, fair job pay. Mental health is a big thing. That's why a lot of people, tend to be on drugs or addicted to some type of narcotic. And also just, the diversion. There's no diversion. So when you commit a crime, they feel like sending you to prison is going to deter the crime, which data has shown that sending somebody to prison, especially for a lengthy time, has never deterred a crime. What deters crime is resources that people can use so they'll have a better living. When you have a good living, then you have no reason to commit a crime. When your mental health is good, you have no reason to commit a crime. So that's, a lot of the reasons why I got into it is to inform people, because a lot of people don't know what it's like to be incarcerated. They just feel like, oh, well, you commit the crime, you do the time, and not really looking at the backstory of why that person committed a crime, or if there's a backstory. A lot of times there's always a backstory. We all have trauma. I don't care who you are, you have some type of trauma. And trauma plays a huge role into the decisions that we make. And so I wanted to be able to, change a life. If I'm changing one life at a time, or I'm changing one person's mind at a time, to understand that people don't just commit crimes because they're bored, and some people do. But majority of the people that's incarcerated don't. And so I wanted to be able to advocate and just change minds of people who doesn't know what it's like to be or be directly impacted by incarceration.
Do you think mental health issues or substance use disorder, which do you think plays a bigger role in those who are incarcerated?
I'm going to be honest, just working in this field, it's both. It's not one. I don't feel like one is over the other. I feel like it's both, because when you have mental health issues, a lot of times you're looking for a way to numb that, to get away from the pain. So you then, intend to go and try to numb it with a substance, or, you will go commit a crime because your mind is not connected to your body. So you're not making conscious decisions. So I think they are hand in hand. I don't think one is over the other.
Yeah. What are your plans for the future, and what are the plans for your organization?
So my plans for the future is to try to my best of ability to help people with their mental health. We have two organizations. The first organization is called the Cierra Cobb Foundation, which is geared to holistic mental health and self-regulation of mental health. And the reason why we chose to do the self-regulation of mental health is because a lot of people do have, psychologists and counselors that they go see, but mental health is the everyday thing you have to work on. When you're not sitting in front of that counselor or you're not sitting in front of that psychologist, you still have to work on your mental health every day. And you have to do a lot of things, even when you're not triggered or you don't have anxiety, you still have to work on controlling that, because when it's triggered, it's hard to respond because your body's already off, your mind's already offline, your body's not responding. So you're not able to handle a lot of pressure because you're already anxious, and you have your other mental health disorders like PTSD, schizophrenia, bipolar. So if you're able to get a hold of it before it gets to that point, then you're 9 times out of 10 likely to keep your brain online, and you're likely to be able to control it a lot better as if you are already triggered. And so you're already full blown triggered, fight or flight mode. And so everything just goes out the window. So we wanted to be able to teach people, because a lot of times people don't even know where to start. You're just so traumatized that you don't know where to start. And I knew I was like that because I have complex PTSD. I didn't know I had it for a long time. I didn't find out I had it until I was 30, and I'm 37 now. So going years and years and years of having PTSD and not knowing it, I was easily triggered. And so that caused a lot of heartache. Luckily I've been involved in the court system, but not technically involved in the prison system. But so I know how it is. So I learned how to self-regulate my mental health when I wasn't in front of the counselor, when I didn't have health insurance to go to the counselor. I had to figure out a way to regulate my mental health. So this is why we came up with the mental health holistic self-regulation, to show people a way that they can self-regulate their mental health if they don't have health insurance, because, we're in thankfully they just expanded Medicaid, but for years, North Carolina, a lot of people didn't have health insurance. So they wasn't able to get health insurance or get any type of mental health care unless they went to jail or prison. And we know that's minimal. So you still wasn't getting the care that you really needed and the attention that you really needed to fix your mental health. So this is what we want to do with the Cierra Cobb Foundation, is just help people be able to self-regulate their mental health when they're not able to get to doctors and counselors and things of that nature, to deter them from committing crimes and, doing things out of passion or anger. And then we have another organization called the Cobb Advisory. And with this organization, we hope to help people to actually get some type of legal help, so that they can possibly get, a sentence reduction, or if they were wrongfully convicted, possibly, get them out, because it's hard to get help. It's hard. A lot of people don't have the funds to pay a lawyer a lot of money to, assist them with their criminal justice issues. So we're here to help advise people if they just need advice, because you have some people who are pro se and they file their own motions. And so some of them just need guidance. So we're here to do that. We're also here to help them actually do that. So our goal is to help people with mental health and also help them with legal services.
That's, and you refer to we. Now, I do believe that even though your husband is incarcerated, he still helps with the ideas that you have concerning your organizations.
You are correct. My husband actually was the one that came up with the whole holistic workshop that we have. I mean, from top to bottom, he came up with the whole program. He's also helping me give me ideas and bring people to us who, are needing legal help and haven't been able to find it or have paid a lot of money to lawyers who haven't helped them. So he's a big help and a big part of the things that we're doing, which, is amazing to me. A lot of people don't understand that people incarcerated are extremely talented and their minds are beautiful. And so it's wonderful to see that.
Yes, I do agree. That is a wonderful example of someone utilizing their time to the best of their ability by helping others and helping themselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's impressive. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share about the organization, about the future, or anything that our listeners can do to help?
We need volunteers, especially for the holistic mental health program. We definitely need volunteers. If anybody is well-versed in mental health and would like to volunteer to help us do some mental health programs. We also want to offer job readiness training because a lot of people incarcerated have been incarcerated for so long, and we know the job slate has changed, so a lot of them need a lot of job readiness. So when they do come home, they're able to have the skills to be able to get a job. And we also offer financial literacy as well. If there's anybody who's good in financial literacy, they'll want to help teach some classes with that because that's another important thing, especially now being in a state of inflation we've been in since COVID. It's really important that especially those that are coming home understand how to handle their finances, because that's another thing that can throw you in a tailspin if you don't know how to handle finances during the middle of inflation. It could, cause you to do some things you shouldn't be doing and possibly go back to prison. So we're trying to keep people as far away from the prison as possible. So if anybody's interested in that, you can look at our website. We have a website for that called carebearfoundation.com. You can reach out to me. My email address is ccobb@carebearfoundation.org. And the Cobb Advisory, we don't have a website yet because we initially just opened that maybe a few weeks ago. So we're working on a website for that. But you can reach me at Cobb at the email address I just gave you. If you know somebody who's needing legal help, send them my way, and we will gladly do what we can to help them.
Oh, that's fantastic. Keep up the good work. I wish you and your husband the best.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 98% Life After Prison, on a mission with a purpose. See you next time. Yes, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.